Okay, and when you look back over your career, is there anything you would change or do differently?
Well, I think it's very good that there's a bit more support around these days. I mean, you know, young artists will always be vulnerable because they don't see the bigger picture. They just want to do the music and have fun and all that, and don't worry about so much about the contracts and everything.
Yeah.
But there's more advice available now. There was no such thing in Australia as lawyers who understood music and copyrights. No, I couldn't find one anyway, you know.
Right.
And all the deals that you did, like if you look at the record contracts you signed back then, they're like about 3 pages long. Now they go for about 20 pages, you know, and cover everything from merchandising to all kinds of stuff, you know. So, yeah, to answer your question, yeah, there were a few mistakes I made. It's because I was naive, you know. You trust people, and then you realise that not everybody's trustworthy, but that's just part of growing up, you know.
Yeah, sure. When, you know, I've just totally slipped my mind the question that I had in my mind, but we'll edit this bit out. Ross, for you, what would be one or two highlights of your career thus far?
Well, we've already talked about a few of them. You know, they're the things that are not necessarily people would think that they might think, oh, you know, playing at the My Music Bowl to, you know, 30,000 people might be a highlight. That's not what it's about, really. You know, it's getting through to the audiences. That's important, and getting a reaction. And the highlights to me are like when you're playing on any given night and what you do works. You know.
You're honoured into being inducted into the ASA Hall of Fame. I just want to congratulate you on a stellar career, and one that has given us the cornerstones of so many songs that have, you know, affected Australia and become part of us.
Yeah, well, I'm still writing. You know, I'm not one of the most productive people around. It's not like I go, I must write a song a week or a song a day or anything like that. You know, I wait till I've got something to say, but I like to think that I've got quality control. You know, that I've written a bunch of, not that many songs, but at least they kind of can stand alone as songs, and you know, there's a variety of them, and it's not all the one thing. Like Eric McCusker was brought into Mondo Rock. He's the guy that wrote State of the Heart,
right?
And Come Said the Boy, and Chemistry, and Summer of '81,
right,
and a few others, because of his songwriting ability. Because when you I've found that, as I mentioned before, I'm not overly productive. That if you've got to deliver an album every year, it's pretty hard work, you know. So to have somebody else that was quite skilled to come on board, you know, he wrote State of the Heart, then I wrote Cool World, you know, and then we were kind of back and forth. And he had this really great stretch where he was inspired and coming up with great songs. And he found me, which was a person who could interpret them, you know, and sing them, and also help arrange them. We had some pretty cool guys in that band who used to rehearse a lot and really work on the arrangements. But State of the Heart was actually not even a contender. And Eric had made this demo tape, and he was like, gave it to his publisher. And I said, what about those demos you're cutting? And he went, oh yeah, I've sent them off to, you know, my publisher. They might be able to get some cuts. I said, well, can't I have a listen? And it had State of the Heart on it. No, I've got a very commercial mind, you know. And I went, that's good. Why didn't you play that to us? You know, all those other ones that were like, you're trying to be real clever and stuff, but that's a very straight ahead.
Beautiful song.
Beautiful song, and that became the first single that we put out with that lineup with him in the band. You know, so you gotta play me everything. You know.
So I've just watched your sound check, and you're in fine voice, and you're singing all the original keys.
Well, yeah, I'm having a bit of fun tonight because I don't usually play to a backing track, but I have accumulated some over the years, you know. Like I said out there, I found this one of Eagle Rock on this Australian karaoke gold thing, and I went, that's actually the right groove, and it's, you know, it sounds, when you play guitar over the top, it sounds all right. You know, it's exactly the right tempo. They've got all the parts there and everything. So I have a bit of fun, like playing along with that, and go, here I am, karaokeing my own song, you know.
So the important thing is you still have the fire in the belly for the songwriting.
I'm on tour all the time. It makes it hard. It's hard. I find it hard to write when you're touring, but on the other hand, you accumulate ideas while you're kind of grooving around. You know.
You meet new people, we find new stories, and maybe perhaps a little inspiration. Yeah, fantastic. Ross, it is a true pleasure to spend time with you, and thanks for coming to the ASA Awards. Ladies and gentlemen, Ross Wilson.